Hello everybody, Hypermariosunshine here, and welcome to my top 10 games of 2022. Yeah, 2022 has gone by, and they had some pretty amazing games for us to play. And while this video may be coming out a little bit late, like, a week or so past the start of 2023, I think it's still at least early enough into 2023. That's fine to still be doing these videos. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done anything like this. Obviously it's been a year, but I do want to mention some of the games and series I've gone to this year, whether I replayed them or I've gone a series I got into that have old games that did not come out from this year. I do want to mention that. So first up, I do want to bring up two series I think I mentioned in last year's video, Castlevania and Ace Attorney. So I think I mentioned that I got into both series last year. If not, then I'm probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but I recall getting to these series last year through the Castlevania collection and the Ace Attorney trilogy collection, and those games were absolutely amazing. I did enjoy a lot Castlevania 1, Castlevania 3, and Super Castlevania 4 from the collection, and I really, really loved the Ace Attorney trilogy, and it got me into more of the series in 2022 as I got Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies off the Nintendo eShop on the 3DS, hopefully before that closes down. But I also got Spirit of Justice as well whenever I get to play that. So I did finish Apollo Justice. I'm halfway through Dual Destinies, and I'll definitely come across Spirit of Justice when I get the chance. And I also got the crossover with Professor Layton as well. And I also got Ace Attorney Chronicles, which came out this year, but I did not quite yet to get to play it yet. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be on this list. But if I do play it this year, I will let you guys know my thoughts on it if I really loved it, and I'll probably get an honorable mention. Lastly, Castlevania. I got the Advanced Collection. I really enjoyed some of the games from there. I didn't quite play too much, but yeah, the Netflix show and Castlevania as a whole, I've really been enjoying. And honestly, I hope you guys give it a try. Alright, and a few other games I do want to mention. Tales of Vesperia. I got into that series, the Tales of series this year, and also Tales of Arise. I did mention that last year. It was my third favorite game of that year, only behind Guilty Gear Strive and Metroid Dread for 2021. So yeah, Tales of Vesperia is the second game, I think either the second or third Tales of game I've actually played. As for a few other games I do want to mention, I purchased Hades, and I haven't played it yet. I haven't got Freedom Planet 2, and I really want to get it. And, let's see. I do want to see what other... Oh yeah, I did get Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne 3 Nocturne and Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Shin Megami Tensei 4, and I haven't yet to play them. I know my backlog is huge. I probably might be making a lot of those jokes in the future. So, what other games have I gotten into? Well, I also got the AI Somnium Files and Dark Deity, and I still have yet to play those, and same goes for Golf Story. And a couple of other mentions. I do want to give a mention to Multiversus. That would be an honorable mention on the list, and Rivals of Aether and Skullgirls. A lot of cool fighting games this year, but obviously those games are a little bit old, but I do like the content that's being updated for them. Also, I want to give a shout out to Guilty Gear Strive, because that game is still going on, and it has some amazing DLC from Biken to Bridget to recently announced Sin. Honestly, been really enjoying the DLC for Strive. Otherwise, quick mention that I wanted to make before we move on, and also Bayonetta 3. I have yet to play that as well, and I do have 1 and 2 ready as well. Oh my god, if I were to tell you guys about my gaming backlog, yeah, we'd be here forever. And also Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Yeah, I forgot that too. But yeah, expect some of those, if I do end up playing them in 2023, for them to be mentioned in the 2023 top 10 video. But anyways, lastly, the N64 Online has been getting some really nice games, and Pokemon Puzzle League and Paper Mario are some of my favorite games from this year that I played. It was really nice to revisit Paper Mario after such a long time I'm not playing it, and finally got to play Pokemon Puzzle League, and I really enjoyed it. The music was great, and I really enjoyed the gameplay of the Panel-to-Pon-esque games. So yeah, really enjoyed that. And, oh yeah, also River City Girls. I hope that I mentioned that, but really good beat 'em up game. I got River City 2 for my sister for, I guess, Little Greek Christmas. I don't know. There's just some weird little holiday called Little Greek Christmas. And, obviously we're Greek. But, yeah, really enjoyed the first River City Girls. I got this game this year. And River City Girls 2, I hope to play it, but it's on my Steam library. I also got a few other games on my Steam library, but I think I did mention I think I got Street Fighter 5 when it was on sale. I also got a few other games are on sale as well. But otherwise, yeah. I think that is it for all the honorable mentions that I have. Well, not honorable mentions, but more so like shout-outs to these games, even though that they didn't come out this year, or that they came out this year but I have yet to play them. But yeah, I do want to give a quick shout to those games as well, so I give them their own fair shot of games that I was interested in and I purchased, but I have yet to play because of my very, very big backlog and also me being very quite unmotivated. Anyways, let's get on with a honorable mention. I did mention that Multiversus is one of the honorable mentions, but I do want to get on with another. So here is the first and only honorable mention that I will mention with gameplay. Yeah, I know, gameplay, but yeah. So, here we go. Alright, so my first experience with Capcom fighting games has been through Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS, surprisingly, but I also played with my cousin Marvel vs. Capcom. He's a very, very good Marvel vs. Capcom player, but the collection is something I've never really experienced, so I decided to purchase it, and this is my first quick honorable mention for my top 10. And honestly, the collection's really fun. I did enjoy Pocket Fighters quite a bit. I enjoyed a lot of the Darkstalkers games. And honestly, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 is really fun too. Just honestly really enjoy these. I know Jin from Cyberbots because of Marvel vs. Capcom. And that's honestly a pretty nice game to have. I'm honestly not familiar with Warzard though. But yeah, some really nice overall choices. It was really fun. And I guess we could go into a quick... Oh, I accidentally picked Street Fighter 2, Hyper Street Fighter 2. But yeah, there's a lot of really fun games in here. And I just really enjoyed the content that was provided in this game. And I really hope that I hope we do get more collections like these in the future, because I really enjoyed them, and I really want to experience some of the older Golden Age fighting games from Capcom, whether they're, I know that the 30th anniversary for Street Fighter has, Third Strike, and I just really want to play Marvel vs. Capcom or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Heritage for the future. I know those are on, like, on something like, Mame, or I'm not sure if that's pronounced, but, yeah. I really wish that, that I could actually play those games on like a console or something rather than on Mame, because honestly I don't really know how to do it. I tried setting it up and I honestly was very confused with it. But you know what? I respect the people that do play it. I think it's, morally correct to emulate games if the creators aren't willing to resell them. But yeah, overall this game was really fun, but did not quite reach the top 10. But it's still overall a very nice collection, and I overall still enjoyed it. Alright, so for number 9 on the list, we have DNF Duel. So I played a couple fighting games this year, traditional fighting games that were new, and one of them was KOF 15. I only played for the tiniest bit, so I can't really judge it as much as I could with DNF Duel, which I played quite a bit of. I really enjoyed it. I guess this is the second fighting game on the list. I never heard of the series at all. I just saw that Arc Systems was working on this, and I always like Arc Systems fighting games, as you saw last year with Guilty Gear Strive. And yeah, this game was pretty fun, even though it was a bit different than what I expected. I really enjoyed it. The characters look really interesting, and also the combo game is really refreshing. It's something different compared to some of the other fighting games that we've been seeing as of lately. So it's definitely something new. I think it's definitely a lot more jankier than I thought it would be, but I think that adds to the fun of it. It's one of the most wackest, but yet most fun, like, just that weird fun way. Like, it's so bad, but just like so good. It's like junk food in a way. But yeah, so here, that's it. That is number 9 on our list, and we'll be moving on to number 8. So when this game came out, I was really hyped, and I actually really enjoyed it. I understand the people's frustrations with the game. I don't understand why they say it's lifeless. Because honestly, it is not. The game still has that Mario... oh yeah, also I just recently finished the update for this. But yeah, the game itself is honestly really great. It's really well put. There's not too many glitches that you'll come across. And the game still has plenty of life to it. If people call this soulless but think that the Mario Tennis Aces and Mario's Golf Super Rush were good, I kind of have to disagree here, because it still kind of acts mostly the same like a Mario sports game of the past. And I really gotta say that Next Level Games still put that sort of love and care that these games are known for. Because, honestly, they have really outdone themselves with this one. The animations still look great. They remind me a lot of Luigi's Mansion 3, which I really loved that game in 2019. That game was honestly pretty incredible, and this game has animations that are up to par, or super stupidly close to it. So, honestly, I gotta give some props to them for this amazing game, because honestly, it was really good. Like, I understand that it still lacks content, and honestly, like, you know, Birdo should have definitely have been another multicolor character to use. But, you know, I really still enjoyed it. I enjoyed the gameplay. I understand it is a little toned down because everybody prefers the more gimmick style. Then I like the gimmicks too. I just sometimes want a straight up match. You know, no gimmicks, no crazy items. I know that the items in this game do get pretty broken, and that is one thing, but it's not a perfect game, but I really still enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it the most out of all the Mario Switch titles. Mario sports titles that came out on the Switch. But people calling this lifeless, I kind of have to disagree, because I think the people at Next Level Games did the best with what they could, and honestly, the gameplay still matches up really well with the old games, and they really made it more easier and less of a, if you guys remember how it was back in Striker's Charge, that game was filled with a lot of cheese. This game is filled with cheese too, but I won't say at the levels of Striker's Charge. So yeah, I just like how they just introduced like the advanced mechanics and everything in a much easier way. And I've honestly enjoyed it more than the past ones. I guess it's because I also was much younger when these games were at their prime. But overall, I think these games were very fun. And this is, I guess that's why it also gets number 9 on my list. It's also got some pretty rocking music as well. But yeah, coming in at number 7, we have TMNT Shredder's Revenge. So, yeah, this year I got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of all series. I love comic books. This year I went on a tear of binge watching a lot of old Marvel cartoons from either the 90s or even to sort of modern day, I guess the early 2010s, with Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Spectacular Spider-Man, X-Men Evolution, X-Men the Animated Series, Wolverine and the X-Men, basically those big ones. And I really enjoyed them, but then I remembered the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were our comic book series originally, and I got into the 2003 TMNT. I wanted to get into the original 80s Turtles, tried going through each of them from the 80s to 2003 to 2012, and then Rise as like the final one, but unfortunately I couldn't find the original TMNT anywhere. I guess I could pirate it, but otherwise, I did watch most of 2003, and I really enjoyed it. And I do hope to continue watching it, eventually get onto 2012 and into Rise, and maybe even watch the original. But I also got this game, and I honestly really liked it. It was really fun. It was probably my favorite beat-em-up this year, if it weren't for River City Girls, honestly, because I really like River City Girls a lot. But this game, it's got some amazing charms, and its art style is really, really amazing. I've never really played the any of the original TMNT video games, like arcade games. So yeah, this game has a bunch of characters from the show, or well, series, from the 4 Turtles, Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph. I guess I use their short names, but also Master Splinter, April O'Neil, and Casey Jones. So yeah, they have a full cast, and I honestly really like this game. I used April and Leo the most. Really enjoyed them. So, as for the game itself, honestly really enjoyed the music, especially one of my favorites. I really love Johnny Atma's stuff with it. And I really just overall enjoyed it. Wow, I'm very surprised that the game started me from the beginning. But yeah, just overall enjoyed it. Was a very fun game to play, and just like some of the references that the game also makes when it comes to the moves that the characters use. They use it from old TMNT games, they even reference some other fighting games too. Like for example, I think April has an attack where she references an attack from Rainbow Mika from Street Fighter. Also, that is also a Chun-Li move right there that she does. But yeah, also some references to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl with some of her attacks as well. And obviously you could also see that in the moves that are used by the Turtles as well. Most importantly, Mikey and Leo, since they're the only other characters that are playable. I guess Shredder as well, since he's also playable, but I haven't really played NASA until, especially after what they did to Jenny Wakeman. Did not really like what they did, honestly. But yeah, overall, very fun, enjoyable game, and I had a lot of fun with it. And honestly, I hope it gets more content. I hope it even gets prepared for... I hope that they get in charge for future sequels, hopefully, because it was really good. So yeah, that is it, and let's move on to number 6 on the list. Coming in at number 6 is Splatoon 3. So this is kind of tied with Klonoa, but I think I might put it ahead. So yeah. So if I said Klonoa was number 6, I think this game is actually number 6. So yes, Splatoon 3, despite its online not being the best, honestly, still really enjoyed the main campaign of the game, and the overall gameplay of the game has just been way more fun than 2 and 3, and also a lot of the new weapon types too, I've been enjoying. Oh wow, some new maps too, wow, it's the first time I'm seeing them. Well, except for Flower Heights, I didn't recognize that map. But, really excited for the future of this game, and I hope it continues to provide more and more. Again, I've mentioned this in my Splatoon 3 review about the game. That was rather recent, but yeah. It's number 6 on this list, and here it is for number 5. Klonoa Phantasy Revere series. So yes, Klonoa's 1 and 2 came to the Switch and other consoles and PC as well. And honestly, this is my first time playing Klonoa. I've had my friend Sky Versa always tell me how good the series is, and I've also had people elsewhere on social media also tell me how good it was. So I gave it a try, and I really enjoyed it. I still haven't beaten it, but honestly, this is some of the most relaxing fun I've had in a while. And that's coming from me that usually plays a lot of action and RPG games, but I haven't really gone to a nice platformer in forever, and I just really love the relaxing charm and whimsical, like, tone of this entire game. It's just so, like, just so relaxing. And Klonoa is a very lovely character. He's so adorable, and I just like his... It's just so cute, and I just like his overall personality. Very standoutish from a lot of the platforming genre characters that we've seen from the past. And it was really nice to actually get into his series. See what he was, and like, I hope that this game, I hope it did really good for Namco to potentially give him another chance in another sequel. So yeah, the gameplay, I wasn't expecting much, but honestly I really like its unique take on its platforming. I just really like what the direction that they went through. Even though it is an old game, I just never tried it out, and I just enjoyed it. It's a really nice collection. It really got some people into the series that didn't know about it beforehand, or knew about it but just never got the chance to play it. And I really hope that if you guys have ever wanted to try it, go ahead. It's on probably the PlayStation Store. It's probably on Microsoft Store for the Xbox. It's, well, whatever their thing is. I'm not really the biggest Xbox fan. It's also definitely on the eShop and Steam. So honestly, give it a chance, honestly, because it's really good, and it's definitely very deserving of the number 6 slot on my list. So let's say we get on to our number 5 on the list. And well, I just saved myself there. Coming in at number 5 is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So this game, I 100%ed it, and I really liked it. I was expecting it to be Kirby but 3D, but honestly, they did a pretty good job having a nice little hub world. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for the Kirby series. I definitely think they could have gone a little bit more and actually make it an open world rather than open zone. I think another game did the open zone thing a little bit better, but we might see that game later on the list. But hey, this game's still pretty fun. So it introduced a lot of cool new mechanics to the Kirby series. Obviously, being the first 3D game that isn't, you know, Kirby and Kirby's Air Ride, or Kirby Air Ride rather. But it also introduced your old weapons becoming much more powerful. So Cutter Kirby or Sword Kirby now have even stronger versions of them, like Warpo Knight Kirby. I know this might be a little spoilers, but like, I mean, this is already it's been out for like what, almost half a year. But honestly, this game was full of just so much like cool references to the Kirby series. And, you know, it is the Puffballs, I think it was the Puffballs 30th anniversary, but this was a great way to really introduce it, and, like, just a lot of abilities and a lot of lore. The story's pretty great, too. And overall, just a really fun time. I really enjoyed it. I 100%ed it. And I just like the overall gameplay of it. It's got some of the best, it's probably one of the best Kirby games I've probably played. It's definitely in my top 3, maybe. Really enjoyed a lot of the music too. I enjoyed a lot of the enemies and like the whole designs of the entire of the bosses and the main villains. Just really enjoyed Fecto Elphys as the final boss. He's honestly a really good one. Honestly, maybe my top 5 bosses of the year if I were to make a list of that of 2022. Obviously, Super Shredder's music is way better, but there are a few other villains or final bosses or even just regular characters that have themes that I've enjoyed way more. But honestly, enough of that. This game has a bunch of top-notch music. The game is just absolutely amazing overall. I like the minigames too. The minigames are really nice. But yeah, just exploring around and just having this like nice open world that Kirby can finally just run around in. I just think it's really, really a breath of fresh air, and I really hope that they continue experimenting with this and just make it Kirby go full-on 3D. Join Mario and Link to that open worldness that they've been experiencing recently. You know, just have Kirby in a nice 3D collectathon journey. But yeah, this is definitely the step in the right direction and definitely a breath of fresh air for the Kirby series, and that's why I think it gets number 5 on my list. So, onwards to number 4. Coming in at number 4 actually, no, it's kind of also number 3 as well. These next two games are gonna be they're honestly in the same tier. I don't know which one I think is better, but Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is either 4 or 3. I'll definitely explain the other game when we cut to it, but yeah, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This game was really good. I don't think it definitely met the caliber of Three Houses or any other previous Fire Emblem game. I definitely think it's an equal like rep to the original Warriors. I think the original Warriors had more of a challenge and original like maps and stuff, an original story. Well, this is more of like another timeline in the already expansive timeline that the original Three Houses already have. So you may ask, what's really good about Fire Emblem 3 Hopes? Well, I honestly enjoy the nice differences in the worlds depending on your stories, just like in Three Houses. I've enjoyed the the characters, like the differences they experience. Like sometimes some of them even have several changes to them because of their uh because of the changes that happen. So they didn't really have Byleth as their professor. Shez is their student, the fellow student instead.
I thought we might discuss you.
So yeah.
You wished.
So yeah, I kind of want to skip this because I already actually went through this, but yeah, just the overworld itself. I honestly prefer the monastery. Instead, it's much more expansive and much more pleasing to look at, I guess. But then again, this is a war-torn, like, area. But Shez is a really good character. I really enjoyed Shez, and I voted for her for Choose Your Legend 7. I really hope she won by the time this video comes out. Or at least gotten placed at least surprisingly high. But, yeah, really enjoyed Shez as a character. The game is honestly really fun. I do love Warriors games. I know people are very mixed on the Musou genre in general, but honestly, I think this one's really good. I really enjoyed Hyrule Warriors, and honestly, the whole, like, this is, like, kind of like a renaissance for Musou spin-off games, because, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses has Three Hopes, you have Persona 5, which has Persona 5 Strikers, and then you have Breath of the Wild having Hyrule Warriors, well, the second Hyrule Warriors game, I forgot what it was. I think it was like Hyrule Warriors Legends or something like that. Or, oh, it was Age of Calamity. There we go. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Age of Calamity was really, really good as well from what I've heard. And honestly, that is a game I want to try too. But yeah, we've been experiencing a nice little golden age of these games. It looks visually more pleasing than Three Houses. I'll give that a little bit of the edge over the Three Houses, that it is much better visually, especially in its cutscenes, but otherwise, I think Three Houses did way better in the story. Three Houses, as you guys know, was my game of the year in 2019, and it's likely my favorite game of all time. But, yeah, this is still a really nice, like, look of, like, what would happen if these events didn't occur in the Fire Emblem Three Houses universe. You got a little bit more expansive on that, so... Yeah, I wish there was, like, a few more questions answered in this game as well, but it did answer a lot of lore that was missing, or, like, questions that were missing from the original Three Houses. But I really enjoyed the game. The story for some of it was really nice. It was nice and simple. Some of it was a little bit disappointing, more so for Scarlet Blaze and for Golden Wildflower. I think it also depends on what you do in the story, which is spoilers with Byleth. But also, I think Dimitri still has the best path in the game. He still has the most lore and just a lot of the more intense character moments. Although there are some stuff that I do have complaints about. But, enough about the complaints. This game's got tons of epic moments. And I do like, again, Shez as a character. I do like her interactions with her fellow students of the other houses. So whichever story you pick. I also do love the music, and I also love the final battle. Oh my god, that is one hell of a final battle. The lines and everything, it's like, you get this nice taste of all the characters just fighting with each other. And the character at the end, it's just really crazy how this is. And really puts a nice little twist on the character of Shez as a whole. And it also really provides, like, this, like, crazy scene for the three lords to actually fight with each other rather than against each other. So, yeah, you finally get to experience that as well. This game is a bit on the fanservice-y side when it comes to that, having the lords fight with each other rather than against each other. But, yeah. Once again, really great game. I love the music remixes. I think Warriors games always tend to do so amazing with original songs and just remix them to such great new levels. Honestly, I don't know if it's my fourth favorite or my third favorite game, but we'll see with this other game that is also tied with it, I guess, for fourth/third. But yeah, really enjoyed Fire Emblem Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, and I hope that we do get a third FE Warriors, because honestly, this was pretty good, and I hope that the third one is way better than the other two. I just hope that is way better than the other two, because I know if you combine both the aspects of the first two games, I think you'll get something special, and I can't wait for Fire Emblem Engage. I've been really hyped up about it. So, yeah. So, that is it. This is it for number 4/3. So, let's get on to the other game that this game shares. So, you may be asking, Hyper, what is your number 3/4 game that is tied with 3 hopes? Well, I think this answers it. It's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So, yeah, this game has been probably one of the most controversial games to come out this year, especially since a certain other game that came out much earlier in the year was received much, much better. And I agree, yeah, there are some very big problems with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, especially when it comes to the frame rate, but I honestly didn't have too many issues when it came to the frame rate of the game, or crashes or any glitches. But that's just on my end. I definitely did see a lot of the problems people were experiencing, and I definitely do see that, yeah, Game Freak could have done way better in terms of the way the game runs. But aside from that, the game was really good. It took definitely some steps back, but it also took some steps forward as well, because I honestly really had a lot of fun with the game. There was a lot of, the story was really nice. It felt Gen 5-esque and Gen 7-esque. Those two are definitely some of my favorite games. I do like the more overworld kind of thing that they're going for. An actual, free roam open world rather than open zone that a certain other game went for. I know it's definitely going to be spoilers for one of the next entries, but yeah, I just really enjoyed what they were going for, and the story of the 3 characters that you're with, the 3 paths with Arvin, Penny, and Nimona, were all really solid. I enjoyed all their characters, and the game really made me feel like, hey, these guys aren't, boring rivals or characters. They're very fun and just full of life. And it's something that I think we've been missing in Rivals for a while. Like, we have our few rivals here and there. We have Gladion, who's amazing. I think our our Legends Arceus or Arceus rival's pretty neat. I don't think they're WoW or anything, but they're nice. We also got WoW. Yeah, there isn't really much after Gen 7, huh? I guess Marnie's also really nice. Her character's really cute. I just like her growing more socially with others over time. Also really like Bede. Bede is a really cocky bastard, and I just like that. Something we missed from the Pokemon franchise for a while. We needed a nice, cocky asshole to pop in and ruin our day. And, yeah, I think this one really made some of the most consistent characters in a while, since Gen 7 or Gen 5, honestly. And just really been having great stories with them, too. Each path has been pretty fun, even though there are some paths I do prefer. I think that I do think Penny's path is the most fun out of all of them. I don't think that the other 2 aren't as bad. I do like the final battle with Nimona the best. I feel like she is definitely a climax character compared to the other 2's stories, how they end. But the story for this game is really good, especially how it picks up at the end. Its final area is just absolutely incredible, and the story's final battle is like the full story. Like, after you finish the 3 paths, the way it ends, oh my god, that is just... Pokemon is finally reaching that RPG levels. Like, it's definitely reached there before with Sun and Moon, Legends Arceus, which we will mention later in the list. Yes, it's on this list. I know I keep trying to avoid it talking about, but yeah. And it's also reaching Gen 5 as well. I think we're definitely getting past that, that stale, beat the champion story, evil villains and stuff like that. I think we're finally getting past that, and we're getting to some more definitely serious storytelling, and I really like that. And again, I gotta say, with every Pokemon game, I think the music's great for every single Pokemon game. I don't think there's not one Pokemon game I could say that. Yeah, I can't really say this game has some good music. Like, it genuinely has some really great tracks, and it's honestly has some of my favorite tracks in the series. The final boss theme is definitely one of my favorites. Penny's battle theme is definitely one of my favorites as well. My favorite in this game is definitely the theme of Team Star's bosses. I love those characters. Their personalities just ooze with life. And so do a lot of the characters in this game. A lot of the characters are just full of life. My only really complaint, aside from the, Are you a shiny? Oh, I guess not. I don't know. I don't know the new Pokemon shinies, honestly. But yeah. Anyways, just the overall charm of the game, its characters and world. I just like most of it. There are a few characters that I think they kind of missed the mark on. I don't really like the champion of this region, Gina, that much. I think there are a couple of gym leaders are forgettable, but honestly, they do have some really good ones. We have Iono, we have Larry, we have a few other side characters, like our teachers are really good too. And also, the professors are probably some of the best Pokemon characters in the game. Especially how they develop overall in the story, and especially when you find out later on with some more spoiler kind of stuff. But, yeah. Oh, and another thing I do want to mention, the Pokemon themselves. I gotta say, these are some of the best Pokemon designs, like consistently best Pokemon designs in a while. There are definitely some designs I didn't like. Actually, I guess not in a while, because, each gen is like 6-7 years apart. Well, not 6-7 years apart, but you know what I mean, like 3 years apart, and then like, I guess the last time we had like a really good consistent gen was 6-7 years ago with Sun and Moon. But yeah, that is definitely a while. But anyways, yeah, this game has so many good Pokemon. Arbolivola, all three of the starters are very solid final evolutions. I picked Sprigatito, so I got Meowscarada, or Meowscarada. Armarouge and Cerulege are also very amazing Pokemon in terms of their designs. The legendaries are just so, like, you really grow attached to these legendaries, actually. They really feel so, like very close to you at the end of the game. Like, you actually feel like they grew along with you as a trainer. And honestly, just feels like what Pokemon should be. You should feel attached to these Pokemon. And also Tinkaton, I do want to mention as well. I guess I'm mentioning Pokemon on my team. I guess I could show my team real quick. There we go. Also Kingambit. I just love some of the designs that they give some of the older Pokemon's new evolutions. Farafrig is also a good one. We also got some new Pokemon too, like Fido is also very cute. Finizen and Palafin are also really, really amazingly designed Pokemon. There's also the Paradox Pokemon as well. I don't want to say which ones I really like, but I guess I'll name one. Iron Valiant. Even though I'm not playing Violet, I do want to mention it because it is a fusion of two of my favorite Pokemon, and it's a robot version of them, of Gardevoir and Gallade. I love that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I guess that is kind of spoiler territory, but you know what? I just wanted to say that one. I say if you want to give Scarlet and Violet a chance, go ahead. I think as long as you try to, mitigate the frame rate, or like, if you're fine with a slower frame rate, as long as you just enjoy the game, or if it doesn't crash on you multiple times. I definitely understand if it does crash, it becomes literally unplayable, but honestly, I think it's at least alright in terms of, like, its playability, but in terms of its overall story and how fun it is, I think they're definitely doing good. I just wish that they actually took more time and, like, smoothen things up and polished it, but I feel like this is the Pokemon game everyone's been looking for a while, and I do think Game Freak kind of has missed the mark, but I did have a lot of fun with this game. I'm honestly just going to admit it. I had a lot of fun. Just exploring the world and meeting all these cool characters. I think they really did. This is definitely their second best game of the year, and they had one much better earlier, and that is going to be our number 2. As if you didn't know what our number 2 was going to be. Wait, what?